Hi there, I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Commando, and thanks for joining us for Tech News This Week, where we give you the top stories, the scams, security alerts, and talk about the crazy things in this world of technology. Coming up, a big recall involving laptop batteries that could catch fire. Find out if your laptop is at risk.
I'm Mike James. We're also going to tell you about target advertising that will soon follow you to your smart TV.
Plus, a robot may conduct your next job interview. It's a crazy story. But the whole gist of it is that, well, maybe there'll be no more biases at the door.
Facebook and its sites were down by some users for about 14 hours this week. They say it was an outage caused by a server that was misconfigured. We're not buying it. Coming up, we'll tell you what we think it was.
Later on, if you're a programmer and you want to make some extra money, well, Mark Cuban gave some advice this past week. How about starting your own business with Alexa and the Google Assistant? All that and more in tech news this week from the news desk at commando.com. But first, we'd like to thank our partners because they help make these updates possible. When you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. You need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
If you use an HP computer, this one is for you. Last year, the company recalled about 50,000 laptop batteries over fire concerns. The year before that, more than 100,000. And now they're recalling even more. The expanded recall is for certain notebook computers and mobile workstations. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says that there have been 8 new reports of battery packs overheating, melting, or charring. One person was even hurt. This version of the recall involves almost 80,000 batteries sold in the United States from December 2015 through last April. Now, some of the affected models include various HP ProBooks, ZBooks, and the Envy line. HP actually announced the update recall and replacement program back in mid-January, but thanks to the government shutdown, no one posted it on the Consumer Product Safety Commission's website for nearly 2 months. Now, to find out more about the recall and if your laptop battery is at risk, check out the full report on commando.com.
Oh gosh, we're all tired of those targeted ads that pop up all the time while you're using the web. And I'm really sorry to break it to you, but guess what? All these targeted ads are probably moving to your TV too. Reuters says Vizio is working on a new industry standard that will allow smart TVs to serve us targeted ads. Oh, happy day! And don't assume you can avoid them by simply not buying a Vizio television. They're partnering with other companies like AT&T, even networks like CBS and NBC Universal. Here's what stopped advertisers right in their tracks in the past. Cookies on websites and browsers make it easy for ads to follow you all around the web. But televisions are typically cookie-free, and this basically creates an invisible fence between your different screens. But Vizio wants to tear down that wall and keep those targeted ads flowing right into our households. With these other companies, they've created what's called Project OR. Project OR is going to develop the new standard, which would eventually be free for every TV manufacturer to use. Oh, isn't that great news? Their wording is that they hope the standard will be used by both TV programmers and platforms, so it might not even stop with smart televisions. Vizio is huge. It's the second largest TV manufacturer here in the United States, and they're already planning the new standard for their upcoming models. But they better be a little bit more careful this time around. You might remember this. It wasn't too long ago that Vizio was fined millions for tracking people through their TVs without their consent, and they just settled a class action lawsuit. Some snooping tech that could threaten your privacy is already built into some televisions. Check out commando.com to find out which ones, and also while you're there, we're going to give you step-by-step on how to stop your television from collecting your data. With all the things continuing to become connected, don't be surprised to see targeted ads eventually hitting everything from your car to even your toaster.
Well, Well, with cybercrime continuing to go up, and there are all kinds of threats we need to stay on top of, your smartphone is one of the most important things to keep safe. And that's what antivirus programs are for. They're supposed to detect and block any threats. But if you have an Android smartphone, there's a problem you're probably not aware of. Most of the antivirus apps in the Google Play Store are just plain worthless. Not only that, some might even damage your smartphone. AV Comparatives conducted a study testing 250 antivirus Android apps, and this is a surprising number. They found that less than 10% were able to defend against all 2,000 malicious apps used in the test. Digging deeper, only 80 were able to detect over 30% of malicious apps. Here's the worst part. Researchers said a lot of those apps are bogus, basically created just to display ads and generate easy money. Want to see the list? Head over to Commander.com for more and check out if you have one of the bogus apps or, at the very least, poor antivirus apps. If you're looking for a reputable Android antivirus app, stick with well-known developers and look for good reviews because it looks like most of the others only care about protecting one thing, which is their bank accounts.
Just ahead, a robot might be what determines if you get that next job. Right now, let me tell you about my sponsor, Capterra. It's 2019, and technology has grown leaps and bounds since 1999. So why are you still using that old, outdated software? Find software that fits your business's needs using Capterra.com. I get asked all the time for different recommendations, and I refer people to Capterra.com. With over 700,000 reviews of products from real software users, discover everything you need to make an informed decision. Search more than 700 specific categories of software. Everything from project management to email marketing to yoga studio management software. No matter your business needs, Capterra makes it easy to discover the right solution fast. Join the millions of people who use Capterra each month to find the right tools for their business. Visit Capterra.com/Kim today to find the right tools to make 2019 the year for your business. Once again, that address is Capterra.com/Kim. Let me spell it for you. Capterra.com/Kim.
Have you ever walked into a job interview only to get the feeling that they've already made a decision about you before they've even asked you any questions? It does happen, probably more than anyone realizes. Snap judgments, unseen, subconscious bias. Well, it's 2019 and we should let AI fix this, right? Well, it already exists. And in the not-so-distant future, a robot could be the one that decides whether or not you move on in the hiring process. Recruiters at a company in Sweden are training an AI-powered robot called Tenge. It talks and smiles, and it's supposed to judge you only on your merits and capabilities, leaving everything else out, and any potential bias also out. They say it learns from both employers and applicants through a lot of test interviews, so it doesn't latch on to any questionable practices of just one person. It's also all business. No chit-chat, no variation. Same question is in the same order for every job candidate. Apparently, it has a lot of customizable facial expressions, so if you can get over that and the fact that this is a robot and no real person, maybe it wouldn't be so weird. It's supposed to seem more human, but I'm pretty sure you'll still be aware that it most certainly is not the whole time. Tenge's planned rollout as a true interview is currently set for 2020. It's an interesting take on hiring practices, but will it really stay bias-free? Even learning from others? After all, someone had to program the thing to begin with, right?
Facebook and its sites were down by some users for about 14 hours the other day. Facebook says the outage was caused by a server misconfiguration error. I don't buy it. Facebook says a server configuration error caused the outage. Servers are designed to work independently, though, and Facebook must have hundreds of thousands of servers in and out of the cloud. Their data pipelines are huge, and they certainly have live backups. I think Facebook was getting attacked. Phishing, social engineering, hackers, political operatives. Its databases were being accessed by malicious actors. It's easier to bring it all offline and resolve the issue than deal with the breach. I'm sure we'll get the truth in a few weeks. On the upside, during the outage, productivity went up across America, and many people experienced this strange phenomenon called life.
I'm not sure what kind of music Abraham Lincoln was into, but imagine what he would look like wearing Apple AirPods. How about AirPods for Vincent van Gogh? Well, if you know much about Van Gogh, then you know he would only need one AirPod anyway. This all has to do with a meme challenge started in Twitter by a marketing agency called Article Group. They asked for people to Photoshop Apple's AirPods on famous works of art, and there was no shortage of responses. Originally, the agency just did it for fun, but after all the interest and submissions, they decided to make it a real contest. They picked the 5 they liked the best, donated $500 in the winners' names to the Brooklyn Arts Council. No real works of art were damaged in this challenge, and there's no risk that these photoshopped versions of AirPods could lead to cancer. We'll have more on that later on in the show.
You might remember us telling you about a couple of huge data breaches earlier this year, known as Collections 1 through 5. They turned out to be compilations of previously breached data containing billions of records that had already been exposed. The new breach is even worse. That's because it doesn't look like these records have been part of any previous leaks. Add to that, there's quite a bit of personal information attached. And it's just as enormous as the collections leaks, with over 2 billion unencrypted records. Here's what happened. A security researcher found an unprotected database full of email records. It was broken down into 4 separate collections, but it included a lot more than just email addresses. They also contained data like names, dates of birth, addresses, phone numbers, social media account details, credit scores, and more. The researcher cross-referenced some of the data with Have I Been Pwned's database of previously exposed records and found that this info was brand new and not part of any previous breach. The leak has been tracked back to a service for enterprise email verification called Verifications.io. They apparently validate bulk mail for companies that want to get rid of inactive addresses used for their newsletter distribution. But I guess it can't validate its own security practices. If there is a silver lining to this incident, it's that the company immediately removed the exposed records when it was notified about it. But that doesn't mean your information wasn't taken by scammers before it was removed. That's why you should take some precautionary steps to secure your data. Go to Commando.com and read our article titled, Another Data Breach Exposes Billions of Records. Is your info safe? You'll learn more details about this breach and what you need to do next. And keep those notes handy for the next big data breach.
More tech news from Commando.com is coming up in a moment. Hundreds of scientists have a warning about your AirPods and their possible health risks. And later on, you could start your own business working with digital voice assistants. Well, that's according to one really successful businessman. Right now, just a quick thank you to our amazing partners who help make this update possible. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data, and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss an opportunity to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Commando On Demand a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at invest.robinhood.com, invest.robinhood.com.
Decades ago, people thought smoking cigarettes was safe. Even doctors apparently had their favorites. Just listen to this clip from 1949.
Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
It took years, but now there's no doubt how dangerous and cancer-causing cigarettes actually are. And now, look at the modern era. For years, a lot of folks have wondered if your cell phone is exposing you to enough radiation that could cause cancer. Most agencies around the world say your phone is safe, and they're not even worried about the upcoming 5G mobile network. But some scientists have turned their focus to another type of wireless device, Apple AirPods. About 250 scientists from more than 40 countries signed a petition and handed it over to the United Nations and World Health Organizations, saying AirPods may pose cancer risks. Just like phones, they emit EMF radiation that's used in cellular data, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. And here's where the new concern comes in. AirPods hang in your ear canal, so these scientists are concerned about low-power Bluetooth and how close it is to your inner ear and the brain. And although AirPods radio waves are within the legal limits, the petition says the guidelines are just a little too lax. They want the rules to be even tougher and for there to be more awareness. Apple sold about 30 million pairs of AirPods last year, and they have new ones on the way, so I'm pretty sure they're not too bothered by this petition. But it still raises a big question. Are AirPods really as safe as cell phones are believed to be, or actually a real threat to your health? We actually just don't know yet, but until we do, think moderation. Limit the use of AirPods to just a few hours a day, if that, and then keep your kids in mind. And for now, err on the side of caution and just let them use the tried and true non-wireless headphones.
Uber's out with their annual Lost and Found report that details commonly lost items. But it's the strangest things that people leave in an Uber that grabbed my attention. If you ever leave something in an Uber, just open the app, select the trip, and choose I lost an item. It'll cost you at least $15 to get it back. Uber found people are most likely to forget watches on a Monday, headphones on a Tuesday, laptops on a Wednesday, books on a Thursday, passports on a Friday, phones on Saturdays, and cakes on Sundays. But someone left a full set of 18-karat gold teeth in the back of an Uber, while someone else lost the head of a salmon, deer antlers, a bird, a full-size mannequin, and an 8-week-old chihuahua never made it home either. So a PSA, check that Uber before you get out.
Well, if you have an Android smartphone, you better listen to this. More apps on the Google Play Store are infected with malware, and there's a good chance it could be on your device. That's right, same stuff, different day. Security researchers at Check Point discovered a new kind of Android malware disguised as an advertising platform. And get this, it's infecting more than 200 apps that have been downloaded more than 150 million times combined. This particular malware is called Simbad, and it's sneaking into apps by presenting itself as a legitimate ad-serving platform. But what developers don't realize, or didn't realize until now, is that the adware is actually piggyback riding on their apps to get around the Google Play Store's app scanning system. It's like a malicious stowaway. Once the infected app is installed, Simbad opens a back door on the phone and then installs more malware, and then it deletes the app icon and just runs in the background unknowingly to the Android user. It doesn't stop there, though. As it's running in the background, it's going through a list of web addresses to serve ads and generate false profits at your expense. The good news, Google has pulled this latest round from the Play Store. The bad news, some of them were available on the store for 2 years. So now's the time to check if you've downloaded any of them. And to get rid of them, most of the affected apps were simulation games, but some were a mishmash of utilities like photo editors and browsers. First things first, head over to Commander.com for the full list of adware-infected apps. Then look for any that you might have on your device and uninstall them. Some might be hard to find, so we've got tips on our site about how to find them and remove them. So now the words Android and adware are starting to become interchangeable. Well, if you're looking to start your own business, start with Alexa and Google Home. At least that's the advice of billionaire Mark Cuban. If you don't know who he is, he's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks NBA team and one of the investors on the ABC show Shark Tank, and a general entrepreneur, so he's been around the business world for a while. He told Recode at a South by Southwest conference a couple of days ago that there's big money to be made writing skills for the Alexa or Google Assistant. He says they're, quote, dying for help, and he thinks a job writing skill could get you anywhere from $25 to $40 an hour on the high end, and that's more than $80,000 a year. Not too shabby. Well, now, skills can cover a lot of ground, from telling jokes to playing games to buying things. And from a business standpoint, the important takeaway is that skills are what monetize those Echo and Google Home smart speakers. If you're looking for a new job, it could be worth checking out. That's if you're okay with being pulled even deeper into one or the other's ecosystem. If I were you, I wouldn't put all my eggs in that digital basket. As far as Mark Cuban goes, I don't think he's officially representing Amazon or Google, so take his comments with a grain of salt. Although he is successful now, all of his past business decisions turned out to be a sure thing. I mean, he did once quit his job to get into the powdered milk business. Yeah, the idea didn't exactly hold a lot of water. Be sure to check out the stories we've been working on over the past week at Commando.com, like another Windows 10 update is causing some major headaches, and once again, a patch that was supposed to fix something else has trouble of its own again. And we have everything you need to know about USB 4, the next major evolution of USB protocol. Also, do you know what a zero-day attack is? It recently affected the Google Chrome browser, so you'll need to make sure your version is up to date. And again, you can find all this and more at Commando.com.
You got questions? I got answers. Every week on my national radio show, I answer questions from people just like you. You want to live the best digital life ever. So whether it's a family problem or a pressing business issue, or you're just wondering how to get something done the easy way, or whether or not you should spend your money on this gadget or gizmo, I have some great news. Unlike other radio shows where you call and you have to sit on hold forever and ever, not with us. You can make an appointment to speak with me. How? Just use our dedicated caller line and leave me a message. Are you ready for the phone number? It's area code 602-381-8200. And when that automated voice assistant answers, it's actually Mike James, by the way. What you want to do is press extension 290. Once again, the number, area code 602-381-8200, extension 290. We'll listen to your message, and one of our producers will get right back to you. All right, you're up to date. Hey, thanks for listening. And do us a huge favor, give us a great 5-star review on Apple, Google, or wherever you do get your podcasts.